Hey y'all, good morning. Welcome back to Andrea Speaks TV. I'm back to bring you more news and commentary you can use. Listen, I hope you're doing well. I hope your family is doing well. Again, I want to say thank you all so much for your kind words, your support. My daughter's, continuing to do better. And so for that, I'm thankful. Listen, y'all, I'm outside in my garden. And I said, this will be a good time for me to come on and, just share some news and information with you. We talk here on the channel a lot is happening in the world we live in today. And I came across a story. I haven't really heard much talk about this since it happened, but I wanted to bring it to your attention. I thought it was very important for both you and I to know what exactly was going on. Listen, y'all, the U.S. government, okay, according to my news sources, okay, U.S. government agencies were recently hit in a global cyber attack. Okay, now we have talked about here on the channel, we've talked about, dangers and concerns regarding technology. I even shared some information before where I was reading and it was saying that, a lot of times when we think about countries fighting, okay, we think it has to be something physical, soldiers on the ground and in battle, right? But I came across an article one time that actually shared that there were rising concerns. Now, this article was like maybe 2 years ago, something like that. And they were saying, the article was saying that, future fallouts between nations wouldn't necessarily be physical, but that it would involve technology, whether it be through cyber attacks, whether it be through space, okay? Those different ways, okay? Let me know if you have heard about that as well. Well, listen, y'all, I want to come on and I want to talk about the fact that our agencies, our government agencies here in the United States were recently hit in a global cyber attack, y'all. So this just didn't affect the United States. This happened all over the world. Now, according to my news source, okay, several U.S. Federal government agencies have been hit in a global cyber attack by Russian cyber criminals. This is what the article is saying, that exploits a vulnerability in widely used software, according to a top U.S. cybersecurity agency. Okay, so again, I'm reading a news source. Okay, they're already pinpointing the finger at what they're saying is Russian cyber criminals. Okay, now I have a few questions about this story. My question that I want to ask is, why aren't they telling us what really happened? Okay, you may have your own set of questions, but after doing my research, I'm asking the question, why aren't they really telling us what's going on? Okay, why is this a concern, Andrea? As the world seems to move more towards technology, whether it be through artificial intelligence, using artificial intelligence in crime fighting, policing, various different methods, right? Surveillance. This becomes a concern because, again, I asked this question in another video when I was explaining about FedNow. You may be, hold on, y'all. Excuse me. You may be, we're going to be sold on this is something convenient, or it's going to protect you. It's going to do this, it's going to do that. But the question I always ask when it comes to technology is, what are you giving up? What protections, what freedoms are you giving up by doing this? But let's keep going, y'all. The U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency is providing support to several federal agencies that have experienced intrusions affecting their MOVE-IT applications. Now, you may want to do some research on that. It's called MOVE, all capital letters, MOVE, and then the letters IT, MOVE-IT, one word, applications, okay? That's according to Eric Goldstein, the agency's Executive Assistant Director for Cybersecurity. who said in a statement on Thursday, referring to the software impacted. Okay, again, the software that was impacted is called MoveIt, MoveIt. Okay, this person was quoted as saying, and I quote, "We are working urgently to understand impacts and ensure timely remediation." Okay, now the article also goes on to say that aside from U.S. government agencies, several hundred, I quote, companies and organizations in the U.S. could be affected by the hacking spree. Okay, a senior CISA official told reporters late Thursday, citing estimates from private experts. So again, y'all, do you all see that? Have you all seen a pattern of whenever something does happen, they have no knowledge of what happened? You know, they got to take time to investigate it. I don't know if there's standard protocol or if that's just the initial answer that they give us, right? Why isn't this headline news? Why aren't we, the American people, being told about what is actually going on? Okay, listen, y'all. CLOP, okay, that's C-L-O-P, the ransomware gang allegedly responsible, the article says, is known to demand multi-million-dollar ransoms, but no ransom demands have been made of federal agencies, the senior official told reporters in a background briefing. Okay, CISAs, okay, again, that's the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. Hold on, y'all. This alarm is going off. Let me turn it off and get back to my article. Okay. So again, CLOP, the ransomware gang allegedly responsible, okay, this is according to the news source, is known to demand multi-million-dollar ransoms, but no ransom demands have been made of federal agencies, the senior official told reporters in a background briefing. Okay, CISA's response comes as Progress Software, okay, this is another company, as Progress Software, the U.S. firm that makes the software exploited by the hackers, said it had discovered a second vulnerability in the code that the company was working to fix. Okay, now the Department of Energy is among multiple federal agencies breached in the ongoing global hacking campaign, a department spokesperson confirmed to CNN. Now, y'all, you know, on the channel we talk about having and that was another thing, you know, our power grid. Okay, the Department of Energy, they specifically highlight in this article, is among the federal agencies. Now, there have been other stories and reports, I'm sure maybe you've seen or heard, where there have been attacks, okay, on our power grid. So the fact that the Department of Energy is one of the agencies is very concerning because, you know, power, amongst other things, is a very, very important source for us, right? Many things operate off of power, electrical power, right? That's why it's good to have alternate forms of energy. Okay, y'all, listen. Now, the CISA director, Jen Easterly, told reporters, and I quote, "The hacks have not had any significant impacts on federal civilian agencies," adding that the hackers have been, and I quote, "largely opportunistic in using the software flaw to break into networks." Okay, the news adds, the article says, to a growing tally of victims of sprawling hacking campaign that began 2 weeks ago and has hit major U.S. universities and state governments. The hacking spree mounts pressure on federal officials who have pledged to put a dent in the scourge of ransomware attacks that have hobbled schools, hospitals, and local governments across the U.S. Okay, I'm gonna read another article that I came across where it was saying that a hospital was in danger of closing because of an issue related to some type of security breach or hack. Okay, so again, y'all, my question is, why aren't they really telling us what's going on? How is it the timing of this? Okay, it's happening here, next thing you know, it's over here, it's over here. Why aren't they really telling us what's going on? Why do you feel that is the case? Please let me know in the comments. Okay, now they're also saying, and I quote, "We have communicated with customers on the steps they need to take to further secure their environments, and we have also taken MoveIt." Okay, remember that was the program I mentioned earlier. They said, "We have also taken MoveIt Cloud offline as we urgently work to patch the issue." Okay, the company said in a statement. Agencies were much quicker Thursday to deny they'd been affected by the hacking And to confirm they were, the Transportation Security Administration and the State Department said they were not victims of the hack, okay? The Department of Energy, okay, we just talked about them a little in more detail. The Department of Energy, and I quote, took immediate steps to mitigate the impact of the hack after learning that records from 2 department entities had been compromised, the department spokesperson said. Okay, the department, here's another quote, the department has notified Congress and is working with law enforcement, CISA, and the affected entities to investigate the incident and mitigate impacts from the breach, the spokesperson said in a statement. Okay. Let's see. Okay, one of the Department of Energy victims is Oak Ridge Associated Universities. You may want to look that up. Who the news source mentions is a not-for-profit research center. The other victim is a contractor affiliated with the department's waste isolation pilot plant in New Mexico, which disposes waste associated with atomic energy. Okay. Federal News Network first reported on the Department of Energy victims. Johns Hopkins University, you may have heard of them in Baltimore, and the university's renowned health system said in a statement this week that sensitive, and I quote, sensitive personal and financial information, including health billing records, may have been stolen in the hack. Now, my question again is, y'all, if all of this is happening, who is behind it, and why are they seeking to do this? Are they seeking some type of intelligence? What's really going on? And again, why are they not telling us the truth about this? What's happening? Okay. Let's see. The article also goes on to mention that CLOP, okay, the group that they're alleging to have taken credit, says CLOP last week claimed credit for some of the hacks, which have also affected employees of the BBC, British Airways, oil giant Shell, and state governments in Minnesota and Illinois. Okay. And that's pretty much what it says. Okay. The CLOP ransomware group is one of numerous gangs, the article says, in Eastern Europe and Russia that are almost exclusively focused on what they're saying, on wringing their victims for as much money as possible. Okay. The director of threat research at Dell-owned Secure Works told the news source, and I quote, the activity we're seeing at the moment, adding company names to their leak site, is a tactic to scare victims, both listed and unlisted. Okay. Again, y'all, I just read to you a news source that multiple government agencies were hit in a global cyber attack. The question I want to ask, and I'm gonna refer to another article. The question I want to ask is, why are we not being told about this? What's really going on? How much of consumer information may have been breached? What should consumers do in the process, and what steps are being put into place to make sure that something like this doesn't happen again? Okay. Let's look at some other stories that have been taking place. Okay. In Louisiana, okay, a news source in Louisiana shared that Louisiana residents with driver's licenses, ID, and car registration had data exposed in a cyber attack. Listen to this, y'all. Okay, all Louisiana residents are all. Okay, do y'all hear me? Let me just pause on that. Okay. Did they say residents in northern Louisiana, southern, eastern, western? Make sure you're drinking water. Not only make sure you add water to your emergency food supply, make sure you're drinking, what did I say, y'all, drinking? Make sure you're drinking, don't laugh at me, y'all. I'm a Southern girl, okay? I'm a Georgia girl. Make sure you're drinking water daily, okay? Water is important to survival. Listen, y'all, let's go back to the article, okay? I'm telling you, cyber attacks are affecting federal government agencies, state government agencies, all across the United States, okay, and even globally. This is allegedly a global cyber attack, okay? Listen, y'all, in Louisiana, okay,